All right, new topic. So Mark Cuban was on Shaq's podcast. Conversation was good, but he said something interesting because Shaq seems like he's on this quest to ask everyone, because he had Draymond Green on his podcast and he asked him the same thing. Why is it, in your opinion, are people bypassing Kobe and just comparing LeBron to MJ? Why are we just acting like Kobe didn't exist? And I don't know if that's just like his go-to question for podcasts, or he really wants to know what happened. I'm pretty sure Shaq knows why. He knows the game, but I don't know why he feels like he has to ask that. Maybe that's just something he want to give us for content. But he asked Mark Cuban, and Mark Cuban, interestingly enough, said something that this happens all the time, because the case for LeBron James, when you trying to compare him to Michael Jordan, is so weak that when you try to make the case, you say outrageous things that sometimes really make LeBron look worse. And this happened with Mark Cuban. He tried to give LeBron a compliment, but it was actually an insult. It actually speaks to LeBron's deficiencies as a player, and something that I have always said when it comes to how he plays and operates actually takes away from his teammates. Listen to what Mark Cuban said that he thought was a compliment.
You hear the GOAT conversation, right? And it really doesn't matter to me who you pick, because I think that all the names are great. But why has it gone from Michael to LeBron and with no mention of Kobe? Why do you think that is? And it pisses me off, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a good answer for you, Shaq.
I would rather hear all the names that are eligible, and then whoever you pick, that's who you pick.
And to me, I always look at it as it depends on the team you're putting them on. I mean, there's no GOAT that plays 1 against 5. And so, I've always felt Kobe and Michael were finishers, but you had to have a team that does everything else. Whereas LeBron is an enabler that makes everybody on the team better than those other guys do. Or did, right? And so you got to tell me who else is on the team, and I'll tell you who the GOAT is for that team.
So, first of all, he couldn't answer the question, why are everybody skipping Kobe and going to LeBron? Mark Cuban was like, I have no clue why they skipping Kobe. I have no clue. Then he was like, okay, this is what I can think of. I can say this. He said, Kobe and Michael are finishers, meaning that point guard start a play. The play runs and operates through, and if you can't get a point or easy basket off that play that the point guard ran, Kobe and Mike was such great finishers that you could give them the ball, and all they needed was 2 to 3 seconds to get to a pull-up jump shot, get it in the post, do that little dream shake, whatever the case may be. They can get something with minimal dribbles. They need 2 to 3 dribbles at the most, and they can score inside of a phone booth. Those are what we call finishers. They're so good at scoring that it doesn't matter what we give them the ball, and it don't matter the situation. Every spot on the floor is a hot spot for them. That's what a finisher is. Then he switched it to LeBron and said LeBron is an enabler. And I don't know when enabler became a good thing, but he said LeBron is an enabler that does everything for his team, and he makes them better. And that's the part that I'm disagreeing with. When you enable someone, you don't make them better. We had the old saying, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. Giving a man a fish is enabling him, because you're never going to go out and fish for yourself. You're never going to learn how to fish, and you're going to always need me. Which is exact. It perfectly explained the LeBron experience. He makes it so we're running my offense, and no one can operate in my offense without me. I want everyone to submit to my style of play. Let me do everything and enable you. That way, hey, look, you don't have any other responsibilities except setting screens for me and spotting up and spreading the floor and be ready to shoot if I pass it to you. I'm enabling you because you're not going to make plays. I'm going to make all the plays. Right. If you can post up, don't worry about that. We don't post up in this offense. Right. If you can run point guard, don't worry about that. I got that. Nobody else run point guard in this offense but me. Right. All I need you to do is shoot because I can't shoot that well. So you do that. You shoot for me. I just make the passes, make the plays, get the assists, all of this crazy stuff. And on the defensive end, go ahead and go guard the best player on the wing as well because I'm tired from doing everything on offense. He explained that. He said he's an enabler. When is that good? Enabling someone. Empowering your teammates is better than enabling them, right? How do I empower a teammate? Well, if you're Michael Jordan or Kobe, look, I can play with the ball, but I'm so cold. I'm going to come off the ball. We're going to run this triangle. I'm going to let Kukoc, Ron Harper, BJ Armstrong, John Paxson, Lamar Odom, Ron Harper again with the Lakers. You just Trevor Ariza, just name so many people. Derek Fisher, name so many people who ran the point guard and ran the offense and ran that triangle. Scottie Pippen. I'm going to come off the ball, and that empowers Scottie Pippen to unlock him as a playmaker, as a point forward, right? And I don't need all the space. And so if you're a center that can post up, I'm not going to take that away from you, Shaq. You can still post up in this offense, and I can still score, right? So I don't need Shaq to go stand at the corner of the three-point line and learn how to shoot threes or come up and set screens for me all the time. Shaq can be his dominant self in the post. Even Luke Longley can go down in the post and post up. Rodman, you can stay all around the paint to get your 30 rebounds. The lane doesn't have to be wide open for me. We can run an offense. I can score in the phone booth. I only need 2 dribbles and probably 3 to 5 seconds. I don't need 18 seconds of the shot clock. I don't need 13 dribbles and two or three screens to try to get downhill and get my offense running. So I disagree with Mark Cuban that enabling your teammates is a good thing and that makes them better. Scottie Pippen became an all-star once he started running point forward. That made him better because I gave him more responsibility. Name one place where you tell someone, I'm not going to give you any responsibility. I want you to rely on me 100%. Let me get all the credit for it. And that somehow makes you better. Mark Cuban is too smart to even say something like that. Like, these people are really not paying attention to basketball if they believe stuff like that. Michael don't believe that. Scotty don't believe that, and neither does Kobe Bryant. Neither does Phil Jackson. They look at the way Luka, Harden, LeBron, Westbrook, the way they ran offense, they look at that like horrible basketball, which it is. So how is enabling someone making them better? How is enabling someone good basketball? How is that anything good? So Mark Cuban tried to give him a compliment, but it's not a lot of compliments you can come up with for LeBron James except 40,000 points in 22 years you played and longevity. I mean, you just when you're comparing him to Kobe, there's not a lot of compliments you can give LeBron. They don't exist. So yeah, the question is right for Shaq. Why the heck we skip Kobe and go straight to LeBron? I don't get it. Right? I don't understand that. So John Sally also was just on a podcast with Byron Scott, and he was asked about Kobe, and I love what he said about Kobe. This one is a little bit long. I'm gonna pause it halfway through, but listen to what John Sally said about Kobe.
I do know, Kobe telling me, I said to him, I said, why'd you not go to college? And he says, I heard MJ was going to retire. Mm-hmm. And that was his reason for not going to college. I said, what? He goes, yeah, he was going to retire. And I wanted to make sure I played against him. I didn't want, to go to college and miss the opportunity of playing against MJ.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, kid. That's a good reason for not having a higher education. I wish I would have thought of that one. Dr. James retired, I can't stay at Georgia Tech. But he was serious. He was like, I wanted to play against him. He felt he knew every single thing about him, and he felt he had the same mentality. And Kobe did, man.
He did.
He did not. When I was on the squad, he didn't hang. Listen, he's about to turn 21 in 2000, and we're playing against Miami, who was horrible, and we're the Lakers. We already 17 games in a row, and I used to play in Miami, and we don't have to play him till the next night. And so, I arranged a get together, gathering.
Oh, that's what we called it.
So Kobe was like, "All right, I'm coming." I said, "Kobe, you coming?" I'm coming, Sal." So he gets there. I said, "I'm bringing you." He said, all right, I'm coming. So I get there. He's upstairs. It's an indoor-outdoor place called Amnesia at the time. I don't know the name of it now. And I remember this girl, he's sitting at the bar. He doesn't drink. And he's like this. And this girl goes, "Kobe Bryant?" And all the girls turn and look. And they rush him. Like, oh, let me go. Oh, my God, I can't believe it. He's sitting there and he's being cordial. He's like this. And, I'm like, my boy, And, they dwindle him down. He goes like this. And I come over. He goes, "I'm ready to leave." I said, "Damn, you pulled one that fast?" And he's like, "No, I got to train in the morning." I said, "Kobe,
yeah.
We're in Miami, bro." He goes, "Yeah, I got to train at 6, though." So like my trainer came in, the whole thing. Need to take me back to the hotel. So I tell my friend Vivian, who still lives here, right up the street too. I said, "We got to take Cole back to the hotel." She goes, "Wow, that quick?" I said, "Yeah, by himself." And she was like, "What?" That's what his mentality. And I had to rush him back to the hotel, back to Coconut Grove, by himself. So I'm not saying this because I don't know if Vanessa goes. I'm telling you, it was by himself. I'm blown away. And I couldn't believe it. But when I dropped him off and Vivian and I are driving back to the party, I go, "That was amazing." She goes, "Yeah, like I've never seen anybody." She said this, like, leave a party in Miami because he got a train at 6 in the morning. Workout was the party.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't him, when we be on the road, he'd like, come to my room. I'd be like, "All right, cool." Go to his room, VCR tapes from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And he would watch tape of but he had a tape of Sidney Moncrief, who none of you guys know of. Like, he had a tape of Sidney Moncrief. And Sidney was a big name in this league for Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
I liked my favorite player was Bernard King. So when I would watch BK, I was like, that's who I want to be like. I want to be like Albert King and Bernard King. That was, you will never hear them talk about these great scorers. But Kobe knew them all. He definitely knew. He knew who World B. Free was because he played with his pops.
Yeah.
But Kobe knew all of these players and watched all of them and understood how to get to the basket, how to score. He took it very, very seriously.
Yes, he did.
Extremely seriously.
It's crazy because I know when I was coaching the Lakers, during one of the practice, I asked a bunch of the guys, I said, how many of you guys know Andrew Toney? Sidney Moncrief. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I said, you guys don't know the history of this game. I said, you guys should be ashamed of yourself.
No, and they don't think they have to. They think
you're right. They don't.
So 3 things. One, John Sally said, Kobe said, "I came out of high school because I heard MJ was going to retire and I just had to play him. I couldn't go to college and miss the opportunity to play against Michael Jordan because he wanted that smoke, because he felt like he was cut from the same cloth and he wanted to measure himself against Michael Jordan. That's the type of dude he was. And this dude was 17 thinking like that. This dude was 17 wanting to play the GOAT that was in his prime or toward the end of his prime, had just won a championship. Like, you don't. Well, as a matter of fact, no, this is when he was with the Wizards. So, no, he was still with the Bulls. Still with the Bulls. He wanted to make sure he got in there and played this guy, man. So that was a big thing, Kobe. Now, I don't know if that's 100% real. That could be something just Kobe is saying, because he got this Mamba mentality persona and all this stuff, and he want everybody to think he's psycho, which he is psycho. But sometimes psychos try to give you stuff, just to give you an example of how psycho they are, right? So I don't know if that's 100% true, but it's on par for who Kobe is. So it's believable. We just don't know if it's 100% true, right? So that's one thing. The second thing, he said he don't party, and we heard Allen Iverson say that as well. So we're getting more sources saying this with more examples. So it's just not just a myth. Allen Iverson said when he showed the LA, they had to play the Lakers, and he's there the night before. He said Kobe picked him up from the airport. They went out to dinner, and after that, Iverson was like, "Man, I'm in LA, man. I'm about to go party." "Where you going?" Kobe said, "I'm going to the gym." And Iverson said, "Man, that blew his mind. That blew him away." Right? Maybe Kobe was doing that just to let him know how serious he was. But at the end of the day, he probably was that serious. We got the story about him going to the Olympics and everybody waking up on lazy time, and Kobe's already drenching in sweat before they had their team workout. He had already worked out individually, riding his bike around, and then coming back lifting before practice. This is crazy. Now we got John Sally saying, "Look, man, we in Miami, let's party." He took him to the party. All the girls in there rushed him. He didn't want none of them to take me back, man. I got to train and catch because I got to get out there and I got to do what I got to do for my job. This is a young kid thinking like this. And everybody was like, no one does this in Miami. No one's turning down all this cat. Kobe he wasn't drinking or none of that. That's a serious young man. Like, that's a serious guy. Not somebody like goofy like Gilbert. He was serious, right? But finally, he explained to him how he studied the game, how he studied the history, and you compared it to the guys now. I mean, we've heard Anthony Edwards put his foot in his mouth plenty of times. There's more examples than like that. It's not just Anthony Edwards. This thing is running rampant throughout the league now. For you to go professional in anything and not study the history is unreal to me. Like, you can't even go to the military without them shoving the history down your throat. You can't even go to elementary school without them shoving American history down your throat. How the heck you go into a league as your profession and don't study none of the greats, none of the history of the game, none of that? They said Kobe Bryant had VHS tapes all over the place, and he would just study and watch them. And he wasn't just studying Magic, Bird, Mike, just wing players that was great. He was studying wing players that was great in their own right, but a little bit unknown. Sidney Moncrief played for the Bucks when the Bucks was like winning 50 plus and 60 games. I remember before Boston and Detroit used to whoop up on the Bulls, the Bucks was the first team that was really whooping the Bulls. I think they beat them in the first round when the Bucks had the number 1 seed. They were led by Sidney Moncrief. He was a big guard and very good at defense. But like, so watching him, I mean, you think about Michael Jordan, who he watched. Of course, Dr. J was easy because that's who everyone was watching. But Dr. J also, Michael Jordan also studied David Thompson and said that was his favorite player, and that's where he got a lot of his airwalking ways from, wanting to glide in the air and stuff. Like, he said he got this high flying stuff from David Thompson. Then he studied big guards and how they scored in the post, like Oscar. He studied big guards that pulled up from mid range, like Jerry West. Like, he studied the game, the history. Like, the guys that are really trying to perfect their craft, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, they're studying. If they're not going all the way to MJ, West, and all of those guys, they at least go as far as to study Kobe. They all went to his Mamba Academy. They're studying Kobe because when you study Kobe, like Dominique Wilkins said, and I did a video on this, Dominique Wilkins said Kobe was the last of our kind. What did he mean by that? The last of their kind, the people who thought like them in the 90s and 80s. Those guys, Kobe was the last of that. So if you want to study all of those guys, Kobe studied every last one of them And when you study Kobe, you were in a way studying all of them. You definitely studying MJ, but everyone else he got information from Peyton, Jerry West, Dr. J, his dad Jelly Bean, Bernard King, Sidney Moncrief. All of these guys he studied. Information he got from Kareem, the Cap, Magic. Like, he's studying these people. He's having conversations with them. He's been a student of the game. He knows his history. So the guys that talk to Kobe and train with Kobe, those are the guys who are serious guys, serious about their craft. So for Anthony Edwards not to even go, I don't even think Anthony Edwards even studied Kobe. And for him to say something like no one had skill in MJ's day except MJ lets me know he's not studying anything. And plus, he's already came out of his mouth and said, I was a football player. The only basketball player I watched was Kevin Durant. That's my favorite player. That's the only person I watch. He didn't even watch Kobe. So he don't know his history. That's embarrassing. Byron Scott said that's embarrassing. Right? Very embarrassing. Right? So it don't get no better than Kobe. And it's kind of embarrassing for people to say LeBron is on that level, because he's not. Kobe would have never done what LeBron is doing right now, the way he's tearing apart the Lakers. When Kobe knew his time was done, he told the Lakers, look, man, I took some pay cuts. Go ahead and run me my money now for these last couple of years. And you ain't got to break the bank and go try to find these free agents and do all this stuff, man. It's over, man. I'm gonna just do my final year, my tour. Y'all overpay me this year. And then I'm out of here. And you ain't got to trade all your draft picks or do none of those things. Draft Randall, draft Larry Nance, draft D'Lo. Acquire draft picks that turned into Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma. Like, they got great pieces, and Kobe Bryant was not trying to make them lose all of their future, because he knew, look, man, I'm not the Kobe I was before my Achilles. So don't spend all that money in your draft picks trying to build a squad around me, because look, man, I'm done. I'm retiring. That's common decency. You get what I'm saying? You ever invited somebody over your house and it's getting late and you don't want to tell them to go, and they just overstay their welcome? You like, man, this, like, you see me nodding off. I done said, dang, that's crazy, like 5 times while you telling this story. You know what I mean? I done looked at my watch 10 times. I done asked you, man, what you about to do? 3 times. And you still not gonna leave. That's what LeBron is doing. He's overstaying his welcome, and he's not reading the room well enough to know it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go, man. Caller, Greg Anderson, what's up?
What's going on, man? You said LeBron one of them cats that overstay his welcome, and you be like, man, what you about to do? Like, damn, that's crazy.
That's
and
what he doing.
That's
what he doing. We all want him to leave. We all keep saying, dang, man, what you about to do, LeBron? Dang, that's crazy. We're all doing that.
Oh man, that comment had me laughing. But look, I just wanted to comment on that Mark Cuban comment that he made. He said that LeBron was an enabler. And you know what? He wasn't lying. He is an enabler. He enabling Bronny. He got him on the Lakers. He got him drafted as the 55th pick. Hell, last week he tried to get him a skin on Call of Duty. So yes, he is an enabler. but the one thing that Cuban said that sounded kind of crazy when he said he needs to see who fills out the roster to tell who the GOAT is.
That don't make no sense.
Well, Shaq should have asked the follow-up question, and this would have killed that whole argument. If you put Kobe or MJ on the 2011 Heat, would he be a champion? That would have killed the whole argument. Because you're not going to give Kobe no 28 point per game score or MJ a 28 point per game score and they not walk out with a championship.
Facts.
Hell, you're not even about to get Michael. You're not even about to get MJ another All-Star on his squad, and he not about to walk out without a trophy.
MJ
So
ain't never have a 25 points. He ain't never had 25-point co-star.
Never, man. Hey, look, the most Scotty, my man, but the most he gonna give you is 22. That's his max. 5 points a quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if he get hot, he might hit a 3. That's 21, 22. That's the most he gonna get you. But my whole thing is, if LeBron constantly makes people better, why ain't Bronny no damn good?
Well, Guillermo said because he's 19.
Because he's 19. Man, you know what? Everybody that's come into the NBA in the last 10 years been 19. All of them one and done.
You know, one and done supposed to be reserved for the people that's like 1% talent. You know,
yeah.
One and dones ain't for people that need to cook and need excuses and can't be critiqued because they're 19. That's not that. No, that's not what a one and done is. A one and done is like, hey man, you got unbelievable talent somewhere. Once you learn this game, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I don't think that's the case for Bronny.
Man, Bronny is one and done. He don't have no basketball IQ. He never in the right position. He don't make the right passes. He don't know how to run a simple screen to roll. I'm telling you, he plays just like LeBron James. He's just not 6'8", 280, and just can run over everybody. But look, man, I'm about to take these comments off air. You are cooking my brother.
All right, man.
And yep.
All right, thanks, Greg. All right, let's get one or two more good ones. They gotta be good like that one. Let me get one or two more. Yeah, man. He overstand his welcome, man. Hey, man, what you about to do, LeBron? Yeah, man. It's getting late. I gotta work tomorrow. You know what I mean? We got these rookies we done draft AD here. You know what I mean? We trying to make some. You know what I mean? That's what's really going on. He just won't leave. Caller from North Carolina. What's good?
Oh, what's up, Mel? This is Thomas from K-Town.
What's going on, brother?
I had a chance to talk to you a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I remember.
To be a night owl like you tonight.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. On the Kobe Bryant situation, let me turn my television down. Okay. On the Kobe Bryant situation, I wanted to make a comment based on what Mark Cuban was saying. I think something that get lost in the GOAT conversations and stuff like that is people don't understand the personality of a person with a extreme competitive will and whatnot. And out of any sport, just about, I've never seen two more competitive guys than Kobe and Jordan. And because they were so competitive, I think that the standard that they set around any teammates that they were playing around and whatnot, they demanded that they step their game up, play the game in a way where the ultimate outcome is winning. I remember in 2000, before Kobe won his last championship in 2010, during an interview, he made a comment about his retirement because he was in the latter half of his career. And he made this comment one time. And he said that once he got to the point where he could not be the leader, the man on the team, take his team to a championship, then he didn't want to be the type of guy that would be a role player, have to bring in other players and things like that. He said at that point he would retire, and he was true to his word.
And look, and that's when you know a person don't want to overstay their welcome. What LeBron is doing though is he knows he can't be the guy no more. But what he's doing is he's getting a guy who can be the guy, but he's manipulating the entire situation to make it seem like he's still the guy. You get what I'm saying? Like he gets AD over here. He tried to get KD. He tried to get Kyrie. He tried to get Kawhi. He tried to get Paul George. So he tried to get AD and another guy. He tried to get this is how it happened. I come to LA. I want you to trade all these guys to get AD. And then in that summer, I want you to try to get KD. That didn't work. Then he tried to get Kawhi. That didn't work. Then he tried to get Paul George. That didn't work. Right. And then years later, they tried to get Kyrie. So he's looking for a third guy. He's trying to do the same thing he did in Miami and have two superstars. But what happens is you're still going to be running his offense, and it's still going to make him look better than everyone else. But really what's going on is his co-stars are really propelling the teams to wins. LeBron is just out there getting his stats. Right. But the media is going to tell us that LeBron is still the guy when he's not.
That's right. Well, we're really, actually, Mel, that's you just summed up his whole career as far as winning championships. I believe that because LeBron is who he is, if he had never went to Miami and he stayed in Cleveland, I know he went to that first championship in Cleveland. To me, that's kind of and I can't admit he was good. He overcame Detroit and whatnot, and that was I give him credit for getting to that championship, in his fourth year and whatnot. But it was also kind of by default because there just wasn't nothing in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, it really wasn't.
At the time when the Eastern Conference began to start building up, where you had teams like Orlando with Dwight Howard there, you had Boston Celtics come up and whatnot. With those two and everybody else building up, then Miami Heat also, with Dwayne Wade. I don't even see him getting back to a championship being the person that he is. And the reason why is because, one, he's uncoachable. And he wants to play the same. His game hadn't changed from the time he came into the league to now. Even now, 20-something years later, he still plays the same way. And he's determined on playing that way. And if a coach come in to try to alter his game and try to make it to the point where he is actually the leader on the team, I don't think he wants to be that type of leader. He wants it just like what you said. He's so used to having 2 or 3 other players on the team to carry actually the offensive load, the defensive load, and he likes the game to be made easier because he has the ball in his hand a lot. He gets the stats, gets some points. He gets more points than everybody else and stuff like that. And everybody said, okay, well, it's LeBron James carrying these guys and whatnot. Yep. But that's, to me, if he stay in Cleveland and he allows himself to be coached, I think that one day he could have ended up being, a type player that knows how to take a team to a championship. That's a skill. That's something that LeBron has never learned.
Yeah, he skipped. He skipped the process. He was supposed to keep getting beat up in Cleveland until he learned. But he skipped the process and went and joined the super team, and everything after that was just him manufacturing, his results and trying to compare it to Michael Jordan, who actually didn't skip the grind. So. Yeah, man. Thanks for the call, man. And they in the comment section saying you sound like Scottie Pippen and Kwame Brown and there's some girls in there saying some girls in the comment section. Somebody, you got a nice voice and all that, man. So you might want to jump back in there and see what they talking about.
Well, that's all good, though. But look, you be blessed, Mel, and stuff like that. And I ask you guys to keep up the good work and stuff over there at Man Down Sports.
I mean, I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, now.
Thanks. All right, Ron Stokes, man. If you want to call back real quick, you can call back. You'll be the last call. So you can call back. And you were trying to get through when I send you the voicemail because the phone will just be beeping and beeping while I'm on the phone with someone. So, I gotta send it the voicemail. But yeah, I thought it was Ron Stokes. They say Stein Jokes. I've been reading it as Ron Stokes the whole time. Caller from California. Who's this?
What's up, man? It's Stein Jokes, man.
All right, bet. You finally got through, man. What's your thoughts?
Nah, man. Remember when here's a thing about Kobe nobody ever brings up. Phil Jackson. I can't even hear you on me. But anyway, I know I'm wrong. Phil Jackson, when he compares Kobe and Mike, he said Kobe's the more difficult shot maker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you ever played hoops and you had somebody on the other team that you was an all-star, you had to guard them, what would your coach say? We can't stop them, just contain them,
Yeah.
right? So if you can't stop him and you can only contain him, and making him make difficult shots is the win for your defense, then by deduction, that puts him a step above the person who can get easier shots. Because Kobe can get easy shots too, but when he has to take difficult shots, he can nail those at a higher rate. And that's something that nobody ever mentions, right?
Mm.
So, like I played against Gilbert Arenas once, right? The homie broke our press every single play, had 46 points. We win the game. Nobody was tripping though, because it was like we was never gonna stop dude anyway. So when it comes down to it, you're like, nah, we won. But what he do? He ended up going. He was the only person on that court that ended up going to the NBA. Now Gilbert's a clown, right? But but he's faster than everybody. Got a shot, and I mean clearly was probably the best player Arizona ever seen, which is a stat high level deal in college. So that's just something that put Kobe above, a step above that people don't mention. And it takes somebody, no offense, Guillermo, but somebody who's played ball to see those type of things and know what your coach is telling you in the game. And when you can't stop people like that, you got to give them a nod, man. Like, yeah, he's one of the greats.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe definitely one of the greats, and I don't think just his difficult shot making is his greatest attribute, and I don't think that put him above Michael Jordan. But I mean, it is noteworthy. But I don't even know if it was difficult shots that he was taking. It was just the fact that he was so deadly as a jump shooter that he always had the best defender on him, and that defender had always had to guard him. Extra tough. Like they had to guard him extra tough, so he was getting a lot of physical play off the ball. That helped it hard for him to catch the ball in his spots. And then once he got it, I'm giving you Shane Battier, Tony Allen, Bruce Bowen, Ruben Patterson. I'm giving you my best defender, and he's watched film on you just for this game. Tayshaun Prince, whoever the case may be, and Now this is the thing about someone like Kobe and someone like Jordan or Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving. When you're that good at shot making and you don't have to get to the rim, what happens is you accept all challenges because you're so good at this and you've practiced this. So when you get the best defender on you and they're putting their hand in your face when you're shooting the jump shots, instead of you saying, I'm probably not going to take this shot, you're like, man, I want to prove to this dude, it don't matter if you put a hand in my face, I'm going to hit this. So sometimes you was accepting the challenge. When John Sally explained how they practice for Michael Jordan with the Jordan rules and all of that stuff, he said that they knew that he wanted to accept the challenge. And when we was bringing double teams, he wanted to show that I can still score when you try to double me. So, that was part of their rules. Like we'll rush everyone at him as soon as he took the first dribble, because we knew he wasn't go past it. We knew he would still go try to find his shot just to show us you can't stop me. And then eventually he learned, I just get this shot with no dribble before the double even come, or they make the pass. But it's a mind thing when there's nothing we can do to stop this dude. Let's just hope that we can trick him into stopping himself. That was the whole thing with Jordan and Kobe, man. But I appreciate the phone call, man.
Hey, I got another point people don't bring up, but you got to get rid of you got to get off the show now.
Nah, I got 2 more topics.
All right, bro.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, one short point. We all know if Colorado never happened, man, the league wouldn't have pivoted from Kobe as fast as they did to go to LeBron. And then last but not least, man, here's another point people don't bring up. If you're a student of the game, here's a point where Kobe changed the game that I never hear anybody bring up. Before Kobe, if you had a dominant big man, you have a dominant big man, not just any big man, the ball always went down low first. Big man touched the rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that changed in the Lakers' third championship, that three-peat year. Kobe averaged, I think, more in the finals, and then in the semis, they went back and forth, and all throughout the playoffs, where Shaq was no longer the first option in that 2001 championship. Now, before that, you had David Robinson, you had Shaq, you had Wilt, you had Kareem, you had, we talked about Bernard King and some of those, old post players. Ball always went down low first. Kobe is the one who changed that, and nobody mentions that. And you can't think of a big man after that where he had to touch the rock first. If they had a dominant guard or guard on that level, Kobe kind of made the game an outside-in game, and then Steph Curry just came in and capitalized on that. But that's another point, man, that people don't bring up that puts Kobe higher than he's given credit for. Because that's a game-changing way. That's a style change way that the game is played. That's like the Kareem rule where you can't dunk, right? And it's more than just, you got MJ's athleticism, so you jump higher. This is the way teams are coaching now. Like now, they play outside in, and LeBron and talked about how Spo had to go out and learn the West Coast offense from Chip Kelly to get more spacing and whatnot. It's a stylistic change that Kobe, just because of his greatness and efficiency, and like you spoke about him earlier, making tough shots in the mid-range and difficult shots, he changed the game in that way. And so now you don't see dominant big man. And if you do, yeah, they are good, but there's no rule that they touch the ball first. And that's the end of that point too.
All right, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call. Yep.